Good morning, everyone. It's Maddie. It is Sunday, March 14th. It is an hour earlier than we're thinking it is. So good morning. Hope everyone's waking up. I've got my cup of coffee. I'm ready to get this first day of daylight saving time started. But I am here with you this morning with Positive Impacts Live here on Positively Osceola. I'm Madi Zavitz. I'm your host this morning. This is a broadcast I do every weekend. I get to pick out these articles to talk about things that are local, national, and international. I'm keeping you in the know. Today's Positively Osceola broadcast is brought to you by our community partner, Kissimmee Utility Authority. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me this morning. It makes me so happy to see the comments pop up, letting me know who is watching. So if you could just throw me a comment, let me know where you're watching from this morning. I would love to feel like there are people with me. It just makes my morning when I'm up here on broadcast. So all right, guys, it's time to officially get this morning started. Good morning, everyone. Again, welcome to Positive Impacts Live. It is Sunday, March 14th. If your clocks say it's 7:11 a.m., they are wrong. It is 8:11 because we just had daylight saving time. We sprung forward. So make sure you are resetting your clocks this morning. Grab an extra cup of coffee. It's going to feel weird for a day. All right, guys, it is time to get started with our stories for the day. So let me get that pulled up and we will get started. Again, I love hearing where everyone is watching from. So if you want to throw me a comment where you were viewing from this morning, it would make my morning. All right, so if you are wondering, where is my third stimulus check? Well, the IRS just updated the Get My Payment tool with information on how to get your new COVID relief bill payments. You can now find out when your next stimulus payment is expected to hit your bank account or get mailed. The IRS did update this on their website with the third round of stimulus checks that started to come out on Saturday. You can go to check your status at www.irs.gov/coronavirus/getmypayment. The agency said that Friday, the tool was expected to be available Monday. So we should be seeing it come out tomorrow. The third round of these payments will be based on the taxpayer's last processed tax return from either 2020 or 2019. That would include anyone who used the IRS non-filers tool last year or submitted a special simplified tax return. For those who received the first two stimulus checks but didn't receive payment via direct deposit, you will receive a check or a prepaid debit card. I was one of those people. For whatever reason, it didn't go directly to my bank account, but I did receive my check. It just took a little while longer than what the direct deposits took. Social Security and other federal beneficiaries will generally receive their third payment the same way as their regular benefits, the IRS said. A payment date for this group is expected to be announced soon. Payments would amount to $1,400 for a single person or $2,800 for a married couple filing jointly, plus an additional $1,400 for each dependent child. Any individuals earning up to $75,000 would get the full payments, as would married couples with incomes up to $150,000. Payments would decline for incomes above those thresholds, phasing out above $80,000 for individuals and $160,000 for married couples. All right, so looking forward to having that come out. I know people are anxious to get their stimulus checks and maybe anxious to use it to go on a little staycation or vacation. Well, if you are interested in traveling to Colorado, it might not be happening for you because there is a huge winter storm that is just affecting all of travel in that area pretty intensely. Colorado Springs braces for their second wave of the winter storm as hundreds of flights in Colorado are canceled. The first wave of this weekend's storm left behind 2 to 3 inches of snow in the greater Colorado Springs area early Saturday and canceled hundreds of flights throughout Front Range, as residents braced for a heavy second wave expected to hit again this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. El Paso County remains in the winter storm warning, and it was running through Sunday at midnight. The Red Cross activated 3 warming shelters at Kilmer Elementary in Colorado Springs, St. Peter Catholic Church in Monument, and Patriot Learning Center in Peyton. This was announced Saturday, so they were prepping for the storms that are coming last night and all day today. Some areas of North Colorado Springs could receive up to 3 inches of snow an hour late Sunday into Saturday. And that was brought to us by meteorologist Brad Kahlberg of the National Weather Service. Sunday morning is expected to bring heavy snowfall near the Palmer Divide, but winds were expected to turn to the north, which would hopefully reduce the moisture in the Colorado area. They weren't really sure how much snow to expect, but they said they wouldn't know what to expect until Sunday. It would just have to see what happens. This 2-day snow forecast totals were holding steady at 8 to 12 inches in Colorado Springs and 12 to 18 inches for the Denver area. That's a lot of snow. It makes me really happy to be in sunny Florida this beautiful Sunday morning. Most flights were canceled Saturday at the Colorado Springs airport. That was about 30 flights. And in Denver, nearly 750 flights have been canceled as of Saturday afternoon, with more than 1,000 flights canceled for Sunday. So anyone who's looking to travel to Colorado may have to double check their tickets right about now, because that's a big snowstorm. And I have a feeling it will affect other flights in the area as well. All right, let's get out of that cold snow. Let's talk about something happening here in Orlando. If you are a whiskey fan, then the 6th annual Orlando Whiskey Festival is going to be something you want to look out for. It is going to be happening, or it just happened this weekend. It was a big event brought to us by the Mansion Windows and Doors. It featured fine single malts, blended Scotch and American whiskeys, and included bourbon and rye and flavored whiskeys, beer and wine. This was a tasting that allowed guests to sample close to 100 whiskey brands and interact with industry professionals. There was a delicious menu with selections from Ace Cafe, an outside lounge area with live entertainment and cigar vendors. This event was held in a socially distant environment outdoors at Backyard at Ace Cafe in downtown Orlando. There was VIP admission, and it went until 10 p.m. last night. Now, if you missed out on this awesome event, you can always go back and check it out and keep it on your calendar. Just head to the 6th Annual Orlando Whiskey Festival Facebook page and keep an eye on that for next year. Maybe they'll do some smaller events throughout the year, but that sounded like a lot of fun, especially if you're a whiskey fan. I love seeing all the small craft festivals that we have here in Orlando, whether it's food or drinks or arts or music. Orlando is just full of so many flavors and diverse culture that I just love seeing everything we do. Now, whiskey is maybe not too diverse of a culture, but we have some great food festivals from people from all over the world celebrating their culture. And I'll be looking out for those, and I'll be sure to include those in my broadcasts as we come up throughout the year and those start to come back. Because I want to go to them, and I bet some of you guys want to go to them too. Now, speaking of arts in Central Florida, the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center is no stranger to having really awesome performances live in their venue. But with the pandemic this year, they started doing an outdoor front yard festival. And this month, they will be featuring a night of songs with an all-star cast from Disney Broadway musicals for the March Front Yard Festival. Broadway is coming to the great outdoors of the Dr. Phillips Front Yard Center, and appropriately, it will be a night of music dedicated to our favorite Disney songs. For the weekend of March 20th through the 21st, the Front Yard Festival will host an original musical production called The Music of Disney on Broadway, packed to the brim with stars of Disney musicals singing all of your favorite hits. This event will feature Michael James Scott, who played Genie in Aladdin, and is no stranger to the Front Yard Festival after his Fierce Christmas solo show. Ashley Brown, the star of Mary Poppins on Broadway, and Chrissy Simmons, who portrayed Nala in The Lion King, and Tarzan himself, Josh Strickland from Tarzan, will all be in attendance performing your favorite musicals. Oh gosh, what's my favorite Disney musical? I loved Little Mermaid on Broadway, and I love Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. All of the Disney musicals are great. So if you have a favorite, I want to hear what yours is. I got to see quite a few of those on Broadway. I was very lucky. The featured singers in this performance will be backed by a live band as they tear through the showstoppers from musicals they starred in, as well as from other musicals such as Frozen, Hercules, The Little Mermaid, and High School Musical, and more. So come on out and check it out if you're interested in tickets to the Music of Disney on Broadway. Those are available at drphillipscenter.org/events/tickets. So go check it out. And enjoy the magic of Broadway right here in Orlando, Florida. If you have the travel bug, I've got some good news for you. I got so excited when I saw this because I love direct flights and I really want to go to Hawaii. I've only got to go to Hawaii and Alaska, and I will have checked off all 50 U.S. states that I've visited. So I maybe need to slide this article into my boyfriend's DMs, and maybe we could take a trip to Hawaii soon. That would be pretty fun. So the Hawaiian Airlines are going to begin Nonstop Honolulu to Orlando service starting this weekend. Friday was a historical day for Orlando International Airport as the first ever nonstop flight from Honolulu has now arrived to the city. Beautiful. The first outbound flight to Honolulu left Saturday morning and was the beginning of a significant connection during an extraordinary time that has impacted travel unlike ever before, the coronavirus pandemic. Hawaiian Airlines is operating 2 round-trip flights per week to Orlando with an Airbus 330-200 aircraft with 278 seats. This comes at a time where passenger traffic at Orlando International Airport is increasing. At the height of the pandemic in April 2020, passenger traffic was down by 98%. Well, now it's down about 50 to 60% compared to before the pandemic. So we are increasing slowly but surely. They're encouraged by the fact that vaccines are being implemented not only here in Central Florida but elsewhere. CEO Phil Brown of GOAA said about this travel option. He said, I think that helps facilitate passengers flying because I feel they feel more comfortable flying. In November, December, and January, Orlando International Airport was number 1 for departing passengers nationwide, but connecting passengers were very low. The airport is expecting a rebound with about 45% increase in passenger traffic over spring break. Compared to last year, Hawaiian Airlines CEO Peter Ingram told Spectrum News that this flight to Orlando has been years in the making. Last year during the pandemic, they thought about using the available aircraft that was grounded for their more traditional routes to broaden their network to Orlando. It's one of the largest unserved nonstop routes in terms of existing demand, and we think putting a new nonstop route in will stimulate that demand even further. He expects this route to be a successful one because there's so much pent-up demand for leisure travel during the pandemic, and Orlando and Hawaii are huge leisure destinations. The airline is starting off cautiously with 2 flights a week, but will look to expand their service to Orlando in the coming months. They expect that this flight will be a 50-50 split between people traveling from Florida to Hawaii and people traveling from Hawaii to Florida. And our early indicators of the bookings have been playing out that it is exactly like that. So there's people wanting to travel from Hawaii back to the mainland in the continental U.S. states and vice versa, Orlando to Hawaii. All right, guys, that wraps it up for my articles this morning. But I want to leave you with the weather for today. So let's take a look at the week's weather here in Osceola County. Starting off with our Sunday morning, it's a beautiful sunny day with a high of 85 and a low of 65. It's going to be sunny for the next couple days, and then it's going to get stormy as we approach the weekend. So keep an eye on the weather forecast, have your umbrella at hand in your car, and be ready for some sunshine and then some rain and storms at the end of the week. But like always, I always say that's Florida for you. It can be beautiful and sunny one day and then pouring the next, or all of that all in one day. So I always have an umbrella and a raincoat in my car just in case. All right, guys, it's time for me to sign off here on Positive Impact. It has been great being with you on this beautiful Sunday morning, March 14th. I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday and a restful and relaxing day. I am signing off here on Positive Impact, but you can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and keep up with our website, positivelyosceola.com. Morgan Cook has her broadcast every weekday morning, 7 a.m. with all information of all things happening here and around Osceola County. So keep an eye on that for everything that's happening this week in Osceola, and be sure to keep up with us on social media. I'm going to be back Saturday and Sunday next weekend for Positive Impact. I'm so proud to be part of a team like Positively Osceola, where we are making a positive impact in and around Osceola County. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll see you Saturday.